writers, welcome back to Story Concierge. My name is Stephanie Bourbon, and today I'm going to be talking specifically to TV writers, or those who want to be in TV writing. But first thing, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you find out when I put out a new video every Wednesday. Okay, let's go. So you want to be a TV writer. You want to work in television, you love TV, you've watched it your entire life, and this is your dream. So there are some very specific things to do if you want to be a TV writer. The first thing is, of course, watch a ton of TV. You have to watch TV, you have to know what's on television. I can't tell you how many writers I have met over the past 10, 11 years that say, oh, I don't watch TV. And I'm like, didn't you tell me you want to be a TV writer? Why on earth would you want to write television if you don't like to watch it? I went to a benefit. I just have to tell you this quick story. I went to this benefit, and one of the actresses, who was an actress on television, actually literally said, to have a better life, stop watching television. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, if there was no television, you would have no job. So I don't really understand that. I know people try to pretend that they're all high and mighty and they're too good for television. Television is huge right now, and it's just getting bigger with Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu. It's just getting bigger, and actors from film are coming to TV. TV shows are getting more recognition. You can watch it on the go. You can watch it at home. I mean, it's growing at such a fast pace that probably even by the time this video comes out, there will have been something different that has happened. So the first thing I'm going to say is, if you want to write for television, you have to be watching it constantly. I mean, like, constantly. You need to be up to date with what is on currently, not just the old shows, because while Seinfeld and Friends and Frasier were great, those shows are in the past, and they're not what people are looking for now, because things have changed, things in society have changed. So it brings me to my next point on staying current. You need to stay current. Next thing I'm going to tell you that you need to do if you want to write for television is write what is called a spec script. And what this is you are going to write your version of a show that's currently on the air. Now, do your best to do your research and know which shows are being canceled and which ones aren't, because a show might be your favorite show, but it might be on the chopping block, and then that's going to show producers and showrunners that you're not really current. Now, unfortunately, some shows get canceled even though they were very popular, and that's okay. Like, I would say right now in the year 2019, if you were submitting a Big Bang Theory, that would be okay, but it would be probably better to be doing something else. There's other shows that are more current, that haven't been on as long, that will show that you really understand what's happening now. It's really, really important. When you write your spec script, make sure that you're writing is the same way that script is supposed to be written. So get copies of the scripts, know your genre inside and out. I'm gonna ask a quick question here. If you wanna write for television, what kind of writing do you wanna do? Where do you see it? Like, or do you see it on cable, or do you see it on network, or do you see it on the web? Comment below and let's get a conversation started. The next thing I'm going to say is, when you're writing your spec script, make sure that you understand that genre. It's so important. When I started writing for television and I was writing comedies, all I thought was, if I know the characters, it's fine. And I remember a really good friend of mine who's now in the ABC Fellowship, so he's actually working for ABC as a TV writer, actually said to me, well, why did you write this like multi-camera when it's a single camera show? And I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't know the difference. At that time, I was still new, and I didn't know the difference in the way that you format the script. It's very important that you know how to format your script. There are tons of resources, tvwriter.com. I have posted in the description links. There are a gazillion ways to find these scripts. You can join writers groups, you can join the LA TV writers. There's just so many ways. There's no excuse to not have read scripts, so you can find the formatting. There's also classes you can take. Then that goes to my next point, that if you want to be a TV writer, you need to take classes. You need to take classes. There's no other way to do it. I don't care how good of a writer you are, unless you're extremely lucky, or your father is, someone who runs a station, or your mother is a showrunner and she can slide you in. You need to take classes, because these classes not only teach you craft on plot and voice and character and all the stuff that every other writing class teaches you, but specific to television, they will also teach you structure, and they will help you understand why certain shows are successful and why other shows aren't. Again, in the description, I have links to some of my favorite TV writing teachers, instructors, and classes that I have taken, and also what genre they're in. It's very different to writing a procedural crime drama than it is to write a sitcom. It's a completely different way of writing, although you can learn from both. Hopefully, if you watch my video or you join my Story Concierge course in the fall, you will get a shortcut. It'll help you save tons of time and tons of money, because none of us are getting any younger. So the next thing I'm going to say about TV writing is that expect to put in a lot of work. It's very, very competitive. Use what you can to get in when you're applying for fellowships. There's a lot of diversity fellowships. There's things for being over 50. I think it's like the second career fellowship, or that falls under diversity. If you can use it to get in, because it's so competitive that I can tell you, when I was reading for studios, I was a studio reader, and also when I've done contests, honestly, just to get through it, we're looking for how to get rid of it. Like, it needs to hit on that first page, and there needs to be a reason. So if I see that you are, a specific kind of writer with a specific background, and this is the show you're writing, I'm probably going to read it more likely than if it's just another person, especially if I'm the head of a chair for like a diversity fellowship. It's really, really important. So let's review really fast what we've done so far. Please watch the whole video. But one is to make sure to watch a lot of television, tons and tons and tons, more than get off this video as soon as this video ends and go watch some television. Two is to really, really know the genre that you're writing in and where your thing fits in. And again, I'm just going to recap. That means, do you want your show to be on network? Do you want your show to be multi-camera? Do you want it to be single camera? Do you want it to be on Hulu? Do you want it to be on Netflix? All these things matter. Once you start taking courses, you will see that they matter. So the next thing is to take craft courses. Get into courses in person and online. If you don't live in Los Angeles, which is something that you absolutely should do, make sure that you're doing stuff online. Join critique groups and learn as much as you can. The next thing is make sure to write a really strong spec script, and also, I didn't say this before, but you also really need to have a pilot with your own voice. A lot of times once you have that spec script, at least one, if not two of them, like one that gets you in, they're gonna ask you for some of your pilot because they wanna see what you're gonna bring to the table long term. So I hope that this helps you aspiring TV writers. I know you can do it. It is a little bit harder the older you get, that's just the truth, but it's not impossible. I believe that you can do it. You have to keep going. It takes on average about 10 years to break into the TV writing business. Some people get luckier. If you're an actor who's already on a show, you have connections, use your connections. That's the next thing I'm gonna say really fast before I end this video. If you have connections, use them. It's okay. That's why they're there. Honestly, don't be a pain about it. And if you happen to have a next door neighbor that's an actress, don't continue to bug her about, put me on your show, I wanna write for your show. Be professional, just like with any other job, but use those connections, especially if you've acted or directed or been a PA on a show or worked in animation in a studio. You will know people, and use those people to tell them that you're writing television. Everything counts. This is show business, and who you know is really, really important. Okay, I hope that helps. Please sign up for my newsletter, please subscribe, and comment below. Let's start talking about TV writing. Yay! Happy writing. Bye, see you next week.